Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. Today I'm going to be doing a Morticia Addams look. I have my wet hair, which is like the closest thing that I will get to having straight hair, you know, the flat straight hair. So I wanted to do like the Morticia look today. So hopefully this is an entertaining and informative video for you guys. So the first thing I do is just sort of like a tinted sunscreen. This is just part of the everyday. I don't use like foundation or anything because I mean I'll only use foundation if I'm gonna do something like really like professional photos or like on a stage or something where there's like a lot of light in your face. That's the only time I'll really use foundation, but for like everyday life, I just do sunscreen, tinted sunscreen, and that's fine. And a really just basic light moisturizer. I also don't have my eyebrows done. I'm trying to grow them out as thick as I can because I'm the classic, you know, millennial, whatever, who I've shaved off my eyebrows. I've had them down to the little thinnest shape, and I also at one point when I was a teenager had like this whole part here cut off. I don't know, I've done every eyebrow shape you can imagine, and I want to just grow them out to see what they actually look like in their natural form. Morticia does have the super thin eyebrows though, and I love that look, but I'm trying to avoid that for now. So let's see here. Okay, Morticia, my queen. I'm literally just trying to manifest becoming a Morticia now that I'm getting older. I want to embody this sort of like gothic wife queen who sits in the mansion all day working on art and baking and gardening. That's what I want with my life. I want to just cut roses all day. So let's see, Morticia, she does have that white face. I'm not going to be doing that today because it's just too much. So this is sort of like an everyday Morticia look. She seems to have just sort of like a white eye with a little bit of gray and then heavy eyeliner. She does have like a sort of gray contouring in the eye and then the classic red lip. So I'm just going to be going for that today. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing like a white base. It's coming out a little gray because the brush has been used before, but that's okay. This is sort of just a shimmery white from this random like zodiac themed eyeshadow that I got. It's not the best quality, but hey, I got it for free, so. I got it as a birthday present from my little cousin, I think, like 2 years ago. So now I'm just doing like a black eyebrow. This is the thickest I've ever had in my eyebrows in my whole life. Something I love about Morticia Addams is that she obviously loves herself so much because of the man who worships her. I mean, their relationship, Gomez and Morticia, is what I think everyone should aspire to have. Is like, you know, instead of feeling like weird because you're different than everybody else, there's always going to be someone who matches your freak, and I like that. So we've got black eyebrows. Next is the gray contouring. I don't have a gray eyeshadow. All of my eyeshadows are just like hanging by a thread. That's why I stopped doing Instagram makeup tutorials, because I'm running out of ideas with the makeups that I have. And, ooh, I should probably throw a lot of these out. So I don't have a gray, but what I've been using for a gray, and this is a fun little hack, we're gonna see how it works over this eyeshadow. I have this black lipstick that it's kind of really light and sheer, that when you apply it and then you sort of like fade it out, it kind of leaves a gray residue, which looks really good as an eyeshadow or as a lipstick. So we're gonna try that to see how it works. So she basically has, hold on, am I in the shot? Okay, she basically has like this outer edge contouring right here. I actually think I'm gonna use the brush for this one. Sort of an outer edge contouring. And then she also has the inner corner. Oh my god, that's so gorgeous. Now we're just gonna blend a little bit. I'm obsessed. Oh my god, I love this look. I'm obsessed. This is so Morticia. It's just gray. Gray. Gorgeous. What the fuck? This is why I love makeup so much, because it's like therapy, you know? I don't understand it. I'm also a huge believer that beauty is a drug and that it should be administered appropriately. You know, I'm a big fan of like Camille Paglia's work, where she talks about the importance of beauty in her book called Sexual Persona. That to me is like, it's everything that I base my life around, because I think that the feminine is something that you create intentionally. It's not something that just is. Like, you have to constantly be recreating the feminine, and then through that culture is created, through that history is created. So I would recommend that book if you're interested in things like female archetypes, the power of sexuality and the sexual persona. That to me is like one of my favorites. And so I believe in beauty. I believe in enhancing beauty and using it as an art form rather than a weakness, you know? So many people think that like makeup is like the male gaze or whatever. It's not the male gaze. It's the female gaze, and it's an illusion, you know? Like, look at how different I look now than 10 minutes ago. My God, I just love this look. She does have a bit of winged eyeliner, and I'm just gonna apply just a basic kind of shape. And then she has just the bottom on the waterline. Yeah, she does sort of have like a foxy eye, I guess. Maybe I'll add a little more. Love it. Oh my god. Cute, cute. And then just basic mascara, of course. I rarely use mascara on a day-to-day makeup because it's just so annoying to remove later. But it's necessary. It's necessary. I actually want to get some fake lashes and start experimenting with those because they just make the eye so huge. And there are certain looks that only look good with the fake lashes, and you know, it's just such a diva look, like to have like maybe like a 60s look with like big fake lashes. It's just so like, I just love like really glamorous looks like that. I also feel like I have a type of eyes that like I put a lot of makeup on my eye and then it doesn't really change much. I don't know, like there are some people that have like a huge eyelid and they can do so much with it. I have, I guess, smaller eyes. I don't really know. But I feel like most makeup looks tend to look the same on me. Like they make my face just sort of look just like makeup. I don't know. Okay, wow. This is pretty much exactly the look that I was going for. Wow. And next I'm just gonna add a little bit of concealer to try to cover up a bit of the dark circles. She does have that like white, powdered white face that unfortunately I can't do right now because I don't have the foundation for that. One day. So yeah, just a little bit of concealer to cover up the dark circles, the imperfections. You know, I think that Morticia, she is trying to look dead. She's trying to look like she's in her coffin and she's just, you know, they made her up for the coffin. And that's why she's trying to look like all white in a way. You wouldn't have dark circles, I think, if you're dead. Or I really don't know about that. And of course, no blush at all. Just red lips, so let's do that. I have several red lipsticks. This one is a Super Stay Matte. I love this one because it just... I love this one because it stays on through anything. Like, I think this is the one I'm going to use because it's the most like dead girl type of vibes. But I have multiple others. This one, it's called Sexy Mother Pucker. It's also really great. Smells good. And I have a couple others. But this is really the one that I think for like a dead person, corpse, I think this is the one that we would use here. And that's pretty much it. Morticia is relatively simple. Just a glamorous sort of red lip, gothic look. No blush, no contouring. Just try to imagine. I think the key to this look is just try to imagine what you would want to look like in a coffin.